Science fiction seems to be all about the future. It's about starships, robots, and worlds we have yet to discover. But to truly understand these amazing stories, we have to look back, way back. The seeds of our most imaginative futures were planted long ago, in the minds of history's greatest thinkers. Every tale of a distant galaxy or a journey through time carries an echo of the past. These stories don't just appear from nowhere. They are built on a foundation of human curiosity, a curiosity that has driven us for thousands of years. The questions we ask today are often the same questions asked by philosophers and scientists centuries ago. When we look up at the night sky, we share a moment with every human who has ever done the same. The ancient Babylonians mapped the stars to predict the seasons. The Greeks imagined gods and heroes living among the constellations. This deep, timeless connection to the cosmos is the very heart of science fiction. The genre takes our shared history of wonder and launches it into the future. It asks, what's next? But the answer is always shaped by what came before. The writers who create these worlds are standing on the shoulders of giants, using old ideas to explore new possibilities and tell us something profound about ourselves. Consider the simple, yet powerful act of looking through a telescope. When you do that, you are not just seeing stars, you are seeing history. The light from those stars has traveled for years, sometimes millions of years, to reach your eyes. In the same way, the ideas in science fiction have traveled through time. They come from historical figures who dared to question the world around them. They challenged what everyone else believed to be true. These rebels of thought, these pioneers of knowledge, are the secret heroes behind our favorite science fiction adventures. Their discoveries and their philosophies are the blueprints for the worlds we love to visit in books and movies. So, the next time you watch a spaceship jump to light speed or meet an android who questions its own existence, think about where those ideas came from. The journey to the future is a path that begins in the distant past. The stories we tell about tomorrow are a continuing conversation with the thinkers of yesterday. They are a celebration of the human imagination, an imagination that has been shaped and fueled by centuries of scientific discovery and philosophical debate. Science fiction is, in a way, a time machine itself. It connects us to our history while showing us a universe of what could be. Long before we had rockets, we had philosophers. In ancient Greece, thinkers like Plato imagined worlds beyond our own. Not worlds in space, but worlds of ideas. Plato wrote about a perfect society in his work, The Republic. He described an ideal city-state governed by wise philosopher kings. This idea of a perfectly structured and sometimes rigid society has been explored in countless science fiction stories. Think of the utopian worlds we see in Star Trek's Federation, where logic and cooperation have built a better future. But this same idea also inspired the darker, dystopian stories where total control crushes the human spirit. Plato also gave us the allegory of the cave. He imagined prisoners chained in a cave watching shadows on a wall. They believe these shadows are the only reality. But what if one prisoner escaped into the sunlight and saw the real world? This powerful story is all about questioning the nature of reality. It is a theme that echoes through some of the most famous science fiction ever created. The movie The Matrix is a modern version of Plato's cave. The characters discover that their entire world is a computer simulation, a shadow play designed to keep them under control. Their journey to wake up is a direct echo of that ancient philosophical tale. Another ancient thinker, Aristotle, was one of the first great scientists. He observed nature, studied animals, and tried to understand the laws of the universe through logic and evidence. He believed that the Earth was the center of everything, a model that lasted for over 1,000 years. While his science was eventually proven wrong, his method of observation and classification was revolutionary. Science fiction writers use this same spirit of inquiry. They create alien ecosystems with strange creatures and bizarre plants, all imagined with a kind of logical consistency. Isaac Asimov, a master of the genre, even credited Aristotle for inspiring his thinking. These ancient ideas are like the DNA of science fiction. They are coded into its very structure. The Greek myth of Icarus, who flew too close to the sun, is a timeless warning about the dangers of unchecked ambition. This theme appears in stories like Frankenstein, where a scientist's creation turns against him. The ancient world was filled with stories of heroes, monsters, and epic journeys. These myths and philosophies provided the first drafts for the space sagas and futuristic adventures that captivate us today. They prove that to imagine a new world, we must first understand the old one and the questions it asked. For centuries, people believed the heavens were perfect and unchanging, with Earth at the center of it all. Then came a scientific revolution. Astronomers like Galileo Galilei pointed a telescope at the sky and changed everything. He saw mountains on the moon, discovered Jupiter's moons, and showed that the planets revolved around the sun. He was challenging an idea that had stood for 1,500 years. For this, he was punished. This story of a lone scientist fighting against an ignorant authority is a classic science fiction trope. Countless movie heroes have stood up to closed-minded leaders, armed only with the truth, just like Galileo did. Then came Sir Isaac Newton. He gave us the laws of motion and universal gravitation. Suddenly, the universe wasn't a place of mystery and magic. It was a giant machine, a clockwork universe running on predictable mathematical laws. This idea had a huge impact on science fiction. It made space travel seem possible. If we could understand the laws of gravity and motion, we could build machines to overcome them. The detailed starship mechanics in shows like The Expanse or the orbital calculations in the movie The Martian all owe a debt to Newton. His work turned the cosmos from a home for gods into a destination for explorers. Newton's physics described a universe where time flows forward at a constant rate for everyone. But this clockwork idea set the stage for later scientists to challenge it. It created a rule book for how the universe worked, and science fiction writers love to imagine what happens when you break the rules. What if you could travel faster than light? What if you could bend a law of physics? These questions, which drive so many plots, exist because people like Newton first wrote the laws down. His vision of an orderly cosmos was the perfect launchpad for stories about deliberately creating cosmic disorder. The discoveries of the scientific revolution opened up a universe of possibilities. They showed us that reality was not what it seemed, and that brave new worlds were waiting to be found, not just in space, but in the pages of science. The characters in science fiction who invent new technologies, explore strange phenomena, or challenge what is known are all children of this revolution. They carry the torch of Galileo and Newton, pushing the boundaries of human knowledge. They remind us that every great leap into the future begins with one brave person who dares to look at the universe in a new way. So why does history matter so much to a genre that is all about the future? Because science fiction is more than just spaceships and aliens. It's about us. It explores our hopes, our fears, and our potential. To do that, it needs a deep understanding of the human journey. By looking at the triumphs and failures of the past, we can imagine more believable and meaningful futures. The struggles of historical figures give our futuristic heroes depth. The ancient questions about justice, reality, and our place in the cosmos are the very engines that drive the most compelling science fiction plots. We are telling the same stories, just with new costumes. Isaac Asimov, one of the greatest science fiction writers of all time, was also a professor of biochemistry and a history enthusiast. His famous Foundation series is a perfect example of this connection. The story is about a psychohistorian who uses mathematics to predict the future of a galactic empire. Asimov was directly inspired by the real history of the rise and fall of the Roman Empire. By studying Rome's collapse, he created an epic story about the collapse of a future civilization. It shows how the patterns of the past can help us understand and maybe even navigate the challenges of the far future. When we create or enjoy science fiction, we are participating in a conversation that spans millennia. We are connecting with Plato's ideas about society, Galileo's courage to seek the truth, and Newton's quest to understand the universe's rules. This connection enriches the stories, giving them layers of meaning that go beyond simple entertainment. It allows science fiction to be a powerful tool for thought. It lets us run simulations of the future, testing ideas about politics, technology, and humanity in a safe, imaginative space. History provides the source code for these simulations. Ultimately, looking back helps us look forward with more wisdom and creativity. The past is not a chain that holds us back. It is a launchpad that propels us forward. The historical figures who expanded our understanding of the universe inspire us to keep exploring. They remind us that the world is full of wonders waiting to be discovered, and that our imagination is the most powerful tool we have. By learning from the great thinkers of history, we learn how to ask bigger, better questions about the future. And asking those questions is, and always will be, what science fiction does best.